Christopher Nolan didn't set out to make sequels. As the director of hit thrillers like Memento and Insomnia, his personal style never seemed to mesh with the idea of helming a mega franchise. After re-envisioning the Caped Crusader with 2005's Batman Begins, though, Nolan couldn't stop thinking about his version of Batman would respond to the introduction of the Joker. The result was The Dark Knight. Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're bringing you some Did You Know facts about The Dark Knight. So, let's get started. A better Joker? In Sir Michael Caine's opinion, Heath Ledger beat the odds and topped Jack Nicholson's Joker from Batman made in 1989. Jack was like a clown figure, benign but wicked. He could be funny and make you laugh. Heath's gone in a completely different direction to Jack. He's like a really scary psychopath. His Joker is going to be a hell of a revelation in this picture. Caine bases this belief on a scene where the Joker pays a visit to Bruce Wayne's penthouse. He'd never met Ledger before, so when Ledger arrived and performed, he gave Caine such a fright he forgot his lines. Stayed in seclusion for 6 weeks. In preparation for his role as the Joker, Heath Ledger hid away in a motel room for about 6 weeks. During this extended stay of seclusion, Ledger delved deep into the psychology of the character. He devoted himself to developing the Joker's every tick, namely the voice and that sadistic-sounding laugh for the voice. Ledger's goal was to create a tone that didn't echo the work Jack Nicholson did in his performance of the Joker. Ledger's interpretation of the Joker's appearance was primarily based on the chaotic look of punk rocker Sid Vicious, combined with the psychotic mannerisms of Malcolm Dowell's character and Alex DeLarge from A Clockwork Orange. Heath Ledger's vocal coach on this movie, Jerry Grenell, stated that Heath had to continuously lick his lips due to his prosthetic coming off whenever he spoke. He eventually made this a tick of the character as he was filming. Suffer from insomnia. Heath Ledger's sudden death from drug toxicity on January 22, 2008 prompted immediate speculation over the movie's state and Ledger's disposition prior to death. Soon after Ledger's death was announced, Warner Brothers issued a statement that verified that Ledger had finished all of his scenes in principal photography, as well as post-production duties, thus making the Joker his final completed movie role. Rumors surpassed that playing the intense role had taken its toll on Ledger's mental state, causing him to become depressed and take a wrong combination of drugs as a result. However, his family has since put such rumors to rest by stating that far from being depressed, he had a lot of fun playing the role. Ledger did suffer from insomnia throughout his life and would often take sleeping pills together with other prescription drugs, something his sister had actually warned against the night before his death. Unfortunately, the mix he took on that night proved to be a fatal combination. Aaron Eckhart spoke about a unique experience he had with Heath Ledger during the hospital scene. He said that before lines were exchanged, Ledger would just walk around in character, mumbling to himself in an odd manner. All Eckhart could do at the time was just watch him while still in character. This went on for several minutes until Ledger got close to him. Eckhart felt compelled at this point to fiercely raise his hand up. Immediately, Ledger grabbed Eckhart's raised hand in an equally matched fierce manner. When the scene was over, Ledger, now out of character, told Eckhart, "That's what acting's all about." Only 4 in the world. In a thrilling scene, the Joker and his gang divert and trap a SWAT escort in a tight underpass. They manage to destroy several vans and even a police helicopter before Batman enters the fray in his Batmobile, having just taken out a few parked cars himself. It's a chaotic, exciting sequence captured with close kinetic camera movements. Unfortunately, those camera movements also resulted in the destruction of an IMAX camera, one of only 4 IMAX cameras in the world at the time. A single IMAX camera costs around $500,000 at the time of the filming. The cake is a lie. Trouble arose during a public relations campaign before the movie's release, when a website related to this movie sent out several cakes purportedly from the Joker, containing a cell phone inside, which made the cake vibrate, and had wires sticking out, and made the cake look like a bomb. One such news station which received one of the cakes believed it to be an actual terrorist act, and the entire building had to be evacuated. The movie has many comic book inspirations. While it doesn't adapt any one specific story to the screen, The Dark Knight did draw inspiration from several specific Batman stories in the pages of DC Comics. When researching and writing the film, director Christopher Nolan and his brother, co-writer Jonathan Nolan, specifically went back to the Joker's very first appearance in 1940's Batman #1, in search of how best to introduce the character. Co-writer David S. Goyer, himself a DC Comics contributor, also cites the classic stories The Long Halloween, The Dark Knight Returns, and The Killing Joke as keys to his research, with elements from each making their way into the film. A smile to remember. Unlike his counterparts in the comics and Batman 1989, the Joker in this film does not have his hair and flesh permanently bleached by toxic waste. His trademark grin was never definitively identified in the comics as a disfigurement. However, his appearance here has scars deliberately carved into his flesh, inspired by the character Gwynplaine from Victor Hugo's novel The Man Who Laughs. Batman doesn't use guns. In the parking garage, each of the fake Batmen are seen firing a gun of some kind. The original creators of the Batman comics decided that Batman would never be shown holding a gun, due to him already bearing so many other similarities to another comic hero, the Shadow. The reasoning given in the Batman universe is that his parents were killed with a gun, and he despises them and anyone who uses them. As a result of this, the Batarangs became one of Batman's most used weapons. But Batman doesn't use a Batarang in this movie. It's the first movie where he doesn't. The Batarang first debuted in Detective Comics number 31 as a new tool in Batman's arsenal. 110 Stories Above Chicago. One of the most beautiful shots in the film finds Batman, cape billowing around him, perched atop Chicago's Sears Tower as he surveys his city. It's a gorgeous image, but also one that could have easily been carried out by a stuntman, so Bale didn't have to take the risk. The star was having none of that. When he found out his stuntman Buster Reeves was preparing to perform the perch, Bale rushed to convince Nolan that he should be the one to stand 110 stories above Chicago for the helicopter shot. "It was important for me to do that shot," Bale explained, "because I wanted to be able to say I did it." The movie includes a small tribute to Ledger's daughter. For the scene in which the Joker sneaks into a panicked Gotham hospital to see Harvey Dent, Ledger dressed up in a nurse's uniform. If you look closely, you'll see that the nurse's name tag reads Matilda. Matilda is Ledger's daughter, who was born in 2005. The mayor of a city sued the production. Weird lawsuits surrounding major motion pictures are nothing new, but The Dark Knight inspired a particularly strange one. In late 2008, after the film had opened to a rapturous critical acclaim and enormous box office success, Hussein Kalkan, the mayor of Batman Turkey, sued Nolan and Warner Brothers for what he deemed a negative impact the film had caused on his city. "There's only one Batman in the world. The American producers used the name of our city without informing us." Needless to say, given that Batman is still as popular as ever, the suit didn't go anywhere. What other fun trivia facts do you know about The Dark Knight? Did we get something wrong? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you enjoy this type of content, why not subscribe to our channel? Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in the next video.